Hello class, this is Mrs. Turner and I am going to explain your vocabulary activity for today. Today's vocabulary activity is about creating actions and sentences. So you will be using our 4 vocabulary words as well as 4 words that use either prefixes, suffixes, or Greek and Latin roots as we have studied through the past week. First, you're going to start with actions. So this is kind of a fun time to think of different ways that you can show what the word looks like. So for example, my first word is abode. So I might create a little triangle with my hands above my head as an example for what abode is. Next, I am going to write a sentence using the word abode. So by the end of this activity, you would have 8 sentences and 8 actions for the 4 vocabulary words and 4 words that include prefixes, suffixes, or Greek and Latin roots. Let's write a sentence for abode. So if I'm thinking about abode, that means that it's a home. So I'm going to think about maybe where a home is located. And I'm going to write a sentence about my abode. My abode sits on top of a hill overlooking a beautiful river. Notice that my sentence has enough information in it to try to help my reader figure out what the word means. So I'm talking about that my house sits on the top of a hill overlooking a beautiful river. Now let's try one of our words that uses a prefix. If we're studying prefixes this week, then you would come up with words that use those prefixes that we've studied. If we're studying suffixes, then you would use words that have those suffixes. And if we're learning Greek and Latin roots, then you would be using words that have those Greek and Latin roots in them. So let's look at the word unprotected. So our prefix is un because we've been learning about prefixes, and so it's saying that we are not protected. So let's think of a word when something might not be protected. I'm thinking of when my dogs are outside and I'm not home and a storm comes in. Sometimes they're unprotected if they don't have access to their doghouse. So I'm going to go ahead and write a sentence about that. Okay, the dogs were unprotected from the harsh winds that blew in a rainstorm. Again, notice that my sentences are long enough to help the reader see that I know what the word means. So at this time, you are going to write 8 sentences using our 4 vocabulary words and 4 words that either include the prefixes from this week, the suffixes from this week, or the Greek and Latin root words from this week. When you've completed your work, you're going to turn it in to the word work basket. Good luck!